how to build immense inner strength, the neuroscience behind David Goggins' mental toughness. Nearly everyone believes mental toughness is something you are born with. Some people seem naturally disciplined. They wake up early, endure discomfort, stay focused under pressure, and continue when others stop. But neuroscience suggests something different. Mental toughness is not a personality gift given to a small group of people. It is a trained adaptation. The brain changes based on what you repeatedly demand from it. This is the deeper idea behind David Goggins' approach to building inner strength. His story is often described as extreme: intense endurance events, brutal training, and pushing beyond normal comfort zones. But underneath the physical challenges is a psychological principle that researchers have studied for decades. The human brain becomes more capable when it learns that discomfort is not automatically a threat. The question is not how to eliminate suffering. The question is how to change your relationship with it. Because your brain is constantly trying to protect you. Inside your nervous system exists a survival system designed to prevent danger and conserve energy. When you experience exhaustion, uncertainty, embarrassment, or failure, your brain begins producing signals that encourage you to stop. These signals feel like limits, but many times they are predictions. Your brain is estimating what it believes you can tolerate. This is one of the most fascinating discoveries in neuroscience. The brain does not simply report reality, it interprets reality. It creates predictions based on previous experiences. And this is where Goggins' philosophy becomes scientifically interesting. One of his central ideas is what he calls callousing the mind. The concept is simple. Just as physical training creates stronger muscles by repeatedly exposing the body to controlled stress, psychological challenges can strengthen your ability to handle difficulty. This connects with a biological process called adaptation. When muscles experience resistance, the body responds by rebuilding. When the brain repeatedly experiences manageable challenges, it can strengthen the networks involved in emotional control, attention, and persistence. This process is known as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means the brain can reorganize itself based on experience. For many years, scientists believed the adult brain was mostly fixed. Today, research shows that repeated behaviors and mental patterns can physically influence the brain's structure and function. Every time you practice delaying gratification, controlling an impulse, or completing something difficult, you are reinforcing neural pathways associated with self-regulation. The brain becomes better at what you repeatedly ask it to do. But there is an important distinction. Goggins is not simply saying that suffering makes people stronger. Science does not support that idea. Extreme, uncontrolled stress can damage the brain and body. Research from neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky has shown that chronic stress can negatively affect immune function, metabolism, memory, and emotional regulation. The key difference is control. A challenge you choose and understand can create adaptation. A stressor that feels uncontrollable can create harm. This is why exercise works. A workout is a controlled stressor. You create a temporary challenge, recover, and return stronger. Psychological resilience may work through a similar principle. You voluntarily practice difficulty so that involuntary difficulty becomes easier to manage. Another important concept discussed in the Huberman Lab conversation is the idea of the brain's protective limits. During intense physical effort, the brain often creates a feeling of fatigue before the body reaches complete physical failure. This protective mechanism helps prevent injury. Your brain is not trying to make you weak, it is trying to keep you alive. But sometimes this protective system becomes overly sensitive. The feeling of, "I cannot continue," does not always mean you are truly incapable. Sometimes it means your brain is attempting to protect resources. This is why perception plays such an important role in endurance. Researchers studying fatigue have found that motivation, emotional state, and expectations influence how people experience effort. The same physical task can feel completely different depending on how the brain interprets it. A runner competing in a race and a person running because they are forced to exercise may experience the same physical demands differently. The body sends signals. The brain gives those signals meaning. Goggins' method also emphasizes another cyclical tool, the accountability mirror. The idea is brutally simple. Stop creating a false version of yourself. Look honestly at your habits, your excuses, and your choices. Psychology has shown that self-awareness is a foundation of behavior change. Researchers studying cognitive behavioral therapy have repeatedly demonstrated that recognizing automatic thoughts is the first step toward changing them. Many people are controlled by thoughts they never examine. I'm too tired. I'm not ready. I'll start tomorrow. These thoughts are not always facts. They are mental events. Learning to observe thoughts without automatically obeying them is a major skill in emotional regulation. This connects with research from psychologist Ethan Kross on self-talk. His studies suggest that the way people talk to themselves influences emotional control and decision-making. Creating psychological distance from emotions can help people respond more effectively instead of reacting impulsively. This is why language matters. The difference between "I am failing" and "I am experiencing failure" creates a different relationship with the same event. One defines identity, the other describes experience. Another famous idea associated with Goggins is the cookie jar. The concept involves remembering previous moments when you overcame difficulty. From a psychological perspective, this relates to self-efficacy. Psychologist Albert Bandura's research showed that belief in your ability to handle challenges is strongly influenced by past experiences of success. Your brain uses memory as evidence. When you remember moments where you survived difficulty, you provide your brain with proof that future challenges are manageable. This does not mean pretending everything is easy. It means building a more accurate understanding of your own capability. The deeper lesson behind David Goggins' philosophy is not about becoming someone who enjoys pain. It is about becoming someone who is no longer controlled by avoidance. Modern life provides endless opportunities to escape discomfort. Entertainment is immediate. Food is convenient. Distractions are unlimited. The brain naturally follows the easiest available path. But resilience develops when you occasionally choose the harder path for a meaningful reason, not because suffering is good, because adaptation requires challenge. A person who practices difficult conversations becomes better at handling conflict. A person who practices focused attention becomes better at concentration. A person who practices physical challenges becomes better at tolerating effort. The brain changes according to what you repeatedly experience. That may be the most important scientific insight behind mental toughness. Strength is not created during the moment of crisis. It is created during the thousands of smaller moments when you teach your brain, "This is uncomfortable, but I can handle it." The goal is not to destroy your limits. The goal is to understand them. Because the strongest minds are not minds that never experience fear, doubt, or exhaustion. They are minds that have learned something deeper. A feeling is not always a command. Discomfort is not always danger, and the human brain is far more adaptable than it first appears.